Lead us. Let's pray. Father, thank you again for the great privilege of coming here and being a part of this wonderful city that you've allowed us to live in and work in and play in. And it's an immense responsibility that we take very seriously, so help us to do the business well and wisely. Show us mercy and grace and help us to remember that we're dealing with families and people, not just buildings and businesses. And make us good stewards of everything you've entrusted to us. We ask this in Christ's name, and amen. Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for being here tonight. I will go ahead and call our meeting to order for Tuesday, May 26, 2026. Council members, you have minutes before you from May the 5th and the special meeting minutes before you. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion. Second.
Motion and a second to approve minutes from the regular meeting and special meeting. Any further discussion, questions otherwise? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have two folks registered to speak tonight, public comments, and I'm going to call on Noah Adkins, 1529 College Avenue. You have the floor, sir.
Hi, I wanted to bring up concern I have about, I live close to the park, and people fly up and down that road all the time. And I just recently moved here, and so I'm trying to walk my dog on the sidewalk, and it gets pretty scary. I don't want anybody to get hit, and I see people walking up and down that way all the time too. So I just wanted to kind of draw attention to that. And also, in the agenda today, I saw that there was an ordinance to match the state law that was recently passed. Obviously, state law, we can't do anything about that. But part of that ordinance I saw was abolition of term limits. And I understand that that was to kind of dismiss any confusion about how that transitional term would end up panning out. But I don't think it's very appropriate to to abolish term limits in this ordinance. I think that either have some language in the ordinance that dismisses any confusion without abolishing term limits, kind of clarifies if that 3-year transitional term counts towards the term limit or not. Or if abolishing term limits is something that we want to do, I do think that that should be a separate thing entirely. That should be voted on separate from this, so that it's not packaged in with the approval of matching state law.
Appreciate your comments. Thanks for being here tonight. Randall Reed Smith, welcome, sir. Nice to see you.
306 Park Avenue.
306. I knew the address.
Hi, everybody. I am a lifelong native of Barboursville, and this year is my 50th high school reunion for the 49th class of Barboursville High School. And next year will be the 100th anniversary of the first graduating class of Barboursville High School. And my class reunion committee, we would like to have a huge celebration next year of all classes of Barboursville High School. We've invited the mayor to our reunion to kick it off for us, and we have a few little ideas that we thought we would have. We thought we could have, like at the Fall Fest, have a parade. The homecoming parade for Cabell Middle and High School this year will be in Barboursville on October 15th, for those of you who haven't heard yet. And we've been invited to have a part of that parade for Barboursville High School. We want to form a committee to make sure we have a representative of each class. And then we want to have like a huge celebration in the park sometime in the summer, a picnic and a concert. Anybody have anything to say to that? What do you think? Oh, come on, you all.
You said a representative of every class, so does that include the first class 100 years ago?
There's always one. Now I understand why you were never elected.
I love you, Randall.
But I look at the class of 73, the class of 74.
I was graduated from the American Christian School.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, I went to school with your brothers.
Yes, they go together.
John, you went to
Class
Barboursville.
of 80.
Are you Barboursville or Cabell Middle?
Midland.
Okay, well, that's okay.
nothing to say.
So, okay, so what do we have to do to get something like this started? We want the support of the town.
We're happy to support anything like that. I think once you get your committee together with your plans, and we'll be happy to have a representative on your committee.
And who would that like to be? Because he won't return phone calls.
You call me 7 times a day.
That is not the truth. Okay, we can't do this.
I'd be happy to help you.
Okay, thank you. What class are you?
92.
Oh, you're like almost next to last. 94 was the last.
Well, Danny was the first class, huh?
Well, we're hoping that we have like maybe at least 50s.
We can help out. My
Okay,
sister's
thank you.
69.
Pardon?
and Mike is 79, Ginger's 81, and Patty is 69.
Well, and my brother Alan is 73.
So yeah, there's plenty of people for sure.
No, that was your birth.
Don't forget about Donnie, he's in the 80s somewhere. 80.
Okay.
80.
All right. Thank you all for what you do.
Thank you for being here.
I always tell everybody, Barboursville is the greatest place on God's green earth. So thank you all for keeping it that way.
Now,
It is never a dull moment when you're here.
Now,
Thanks for
Randall,
being
my
here.
dad is class of 1965 at Barboursville.
Oh, okay. Graduated with my cousin Felisa. Okay.
Yeah, he just turned 79 last night.
Yes, 79 this year. You're absolutely right. Okay, we want to have a big turnout. Okay, Mayor?
Thank you for being here, sir.
Okay, and you're going to help, right?
Always. If it's you, absolutely. I've been
All right.
working.
Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Thank you,
That's
Eddie.
complicated. It's easier to help than not help. All right, thanks for being here. We are to departmental updates. There's a number of things Brandy mentioned in work session, and as you guys know, please continue to send your work order requests and things of that nature. And I'm sure that you know that we're in the busy season as well. And we have some items to deal with on the agenda that are also within those departmental updates. So I'm just gonna move on. We don't have old business, but we do have new business. Item A is consideration of approval of resolution 2026-09 for general fund budget revision number 3. I'll turn that over to John.
We need to clean up, end of the year. We've also got some more finalized numbers, to shoot for, so we've got, some additional revenues. And then, of course, we like to distribute that to the departments in case there's any overages, that we haven't anticipated. And, we don't have, we have to have the, last budget amendments, done by June 15th, so that's this week and next week's agenda, which I won't have on there, so.
Any questions for John with consideration to the budget revision number 3? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept budget revision number 3.
I'll make the motion, second.
A motion is second. If there's no further questions or comments, otherwise, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item is consideration of approval resolution 2026-10 for payment of contractor's application for payment of Blue Ridge wastewater system connect project. Just for the record, as you all know, we committed a considerable amount of funding to this project, and this particular this particular invoice is $147,915.96, and that's what needs to be considered here this evening.
I'll make a motion we pay our bills.
I'll say it.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions?
John, we're good for it?
Yep, we're good.
All right.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item C is consideration of approval resolution 2026-11 for invoices related to service for pump station upgrades and sewage treatment lagoon decommissioning project, DD number 3, and this is also related to those expenses as well.
I'll make the motion we accept as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second for further discussion. Just for the record, that amount is $60,000 from Thrasher Engineering, so we have a motion and a second. Any questions or otherwise? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is consideration of approval resolution 2026-12, appointing municipal court judge in the Village of Barboursville Municipal Court and for other purposes related thereto. I talked to Mark about this, and I will say that our candidate to be our next municipal judge has done work for the village and will be an honorable representative for Barboursville, and I'm glad to present to you guys Abraham Sod to be our next municipal judge. So I entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Abraham Sod as our municipal judge. There's no further questions. I will say one thing. I appreciate your willingness to do this. It is not easy for you to step away from things in the practice, but I know you'll do a great job for the village. I'm proud that you're here serving with us. So thank you, and I would invite you to say anything you want to say, sir.
I just want to say, I do take this very seriously. I've practiced 21 years. So those who don't know Sarah, she is an elected Capital County judge, family court judge. And so we understand the importance of law and the Constitution in our community, and we look with our children to uphold it. And I look forward to representing Barboursville on the bench, and will do my best. And if anyone ever has any questions, I'm glad to answer.
We're glad you and your family are here. Thank you for being here, and I'm honored that you're accepting the appointment. With that being said, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consideration of approval of ordinance 2026-01, approving ordinance to amend the reenact sections 2.2, 3.2, 4.1, 12.1, 12.4, and 12.5 of the Charter of the Village of Barboursville, West Virginia, and adopt the one-time conformity ordinance relating to municipal election day and transitional term lengths of elected municipal officers in order to achieve the conformity of West Virginia Code 8-5-5 and 13-3-1-31 and repeal prior term limits on selected municipal officers. This is up for first reading, so I'll remind the council there's no discussion this evening. This is first reading, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the first reading of approval of ordinance 2026-01.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item F is consideration of approval for purchase of 25 Cradle Point devices in the amount of $11,499.75. I know that the lieutenant is here to speak, Lieutenant Vickers or Chief Lucas. Either of you would like to speak to this, you're welcome to do so at this time.
Let me start. I'm gonna let Lieutenant Vickers answer any questions you might have and explain it in more detail. Because he's done a tremendous job in putting this project together, this entire project. And I realize that it seems like we're coming to you every council meeting and asking for more to fund this system that we're putting in place, but this is a complete and absolutely necessary overhaul of our entire communication system. From our radio tower to our repeater, to our radios, to our in-car computers, and beyond. And the most important tool we have as first responders is communications. It's more important than firearms, it's more important than knowing how to fight, it's more important than training. Because I can take a police officer who can't shoot, who can't fight, and who is untrained, and give him communication devices, and he can call 25 guys who can shoot and fight and train, okay? It's a force multiplier, and it's absolutely necessary, and we just happen to find ourselves way behind the curve on this. And so we're catching up, and this so happens to be the year that almost all of our communication devices are reaching the end of life period. So this is one of those years where we have to spend some money. New radio towers need new repeaters. New repeaters need new radios. New radios need new cradle points. Isolates, consulates. Yeah, consulates for new in-car computers. Eventually it'll lead to dash cams and it'll lead to body cams. Something that all the other agencies in the United States are using to their advantage and to the city's advantage, but we are behind the curve on those things. So we're playing catch up with this, and thankfully this isn't something we have to do every year. This is something that after we do this overhaul will last us for a long time. So I'm gonna let Lieutenant Vickers answer any questions you might have on this device and the other one too.
I'm gonna, and just for the record, I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna pull these together and let the lieutenant speak on this. The other consideration for approval is item G, and it's a Motorola APX UHF P25 capable consulate in the amount of $10,602.99. So we'll take both of those under consideration at the same time, and I'll let the lieutenant answer any questions or give any commentary you'd like to give.
What is the life expectancy of these items?
A lot of it depends on, like, the consulate will be around for a long time. The cradle points, that's dependent upon the networks. they should be around for a while. I mean, they connect just like your cell phone connects.
One of the things that we looked at too, just so you know, it's based on the advancement of technology.
Yeah.
Based on what someone else moves to, and you've got all the agencies trying to communicate as one.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the equipment that they're doing now and what everybody else is moving to, or what the next thing is that Motorola or whoever switches to.
The Cradle Point basically gives you a Wi-Fi hotspot in the cruiser, so that's how the laptops will connect. Once we go to body cams and in-car cams, they will also connect to it. If we went with just the air cards in the laptops, you could never do that. That just limits your abilities at that point. Not to mention, me and John discussed, the actual Cradle Point monthly bill is actually a little cheaper. It's a few dollars per each device, but, I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it is a little cheaper. And when I went to get the bid or the quote for it, they're normally $1,200, and they're on a promo right now for $480, I think, $459. So we're getting them at over half off.
Okay, is this just the equipment, or does this involve the tower?
I'm sorry?
Is this just the equipment, or does it involve the tower also?
No, not this. This is just so the laptop can connect and we can connect to dispatch and our dispatch program, our report writing program, Central Square, all that. What it also does is we've had a lot of trouble with the GPS and the laptops with just the data card. Some of them just don't work. We've tried, we've deleted them, reinstalled them, and it's on what's called a COM port, and some of them just don't work. This actually will stabilize that, and it basically low jacks the car. Somebody ever jumps in the car and takes off, dispatch has got it live on GPS 24/7.
And we have two parts to this communication system. So we have the computer part, which is the Cradle Point,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi connection, and then we have the Consulate part, which is the radio and the radio tower part. So those are two separate parts, but they're two equally important parts of our communication system.
Yep, the Consulate part, we didn't expect this expense. I just found out about a week and a half ago we were gonna have to do it. When we went forward with moving to a digital and moving on the new tower and getting a digital frequency, we didn't know, but there was not another spot available at 911 for us to put another frequency in. So that's why we have to there has to be another Consulate to put a radio in to add another frequency.
Okay, that answered my question.
Yeah, that was an unexpected cost. We weren't, Anthony didn't know because he started this project and I just kind of picked it up. He didn't know and he wasn't sure, and he thought 911 already knew. And once I started talking to him, telling him, hey, we're getting our radios programmed with our new frequency, and they're like, we don't have a spot for it. So that's where we ended up on that. We tried to do a cheaper route and put basically like it's almost like I don't know what they call it, but it would have mounted at the tower and gave dispatch communication, but be able to control it with their computer, but it wouldn't record. So we had to go this way.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions otherwise?
I do. So the service we're still getting, I know we're getting hardware, but the service we're gonna have in the cruiser, what are we replacing service-wise? What's the interchange?
We're taking instead of using the air card, like almost like a SIM card in the laptop itself, this basically makes the whole car a Wi-Fi hotspot.
So we're getting rid of that thing?
Yes.
We are.
Yeah, we're trading one for the other, and this one is, like I said, it's nominal, but it's a couple dollars cheaper per device each
So
month.
that's a wash. And then, is it common though in the structure for the county? I just wanna make
Our
sure
county, state
that we're
police,
providing the station for their 911 center. Is that common practice that they're not?
Yes, that's
Yes.
common practice, yeah. We kind of question that too with NOSM, but that's common practice across the county. Once you go up to those systems, you have to provide 911 with the compatible Consulate with your system.
Okay. That's all I had.
Any other questions or comments? You have two items before you, and it's the approval of purchase of the Cradle Point as well as the Consulate.
I'll make a motion.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item H is consideration of approval of bid award for the refuse truck. Annie and Jason are both here to speak to that, so I'm just gonna turn it over to them.
Okay, we presently have two trucks, one's really old and the other one's relatively new. So on many days, we have to run 2 trucks the same day, so we decided we needed a new truck. So we advertised and got 3 bids, one of which was almost 300,000. The other 2 was within $16,000 of each other, approximately. So, and one was from Mississippi, I said that right? So we decided, that was the low bid, so we decided to go with the middle bid, which was $211,557. In addition to the bid for the vehicle and the trash compactor, we asked for options for extended warranties, and both of them provided those. So we chose to get the West Virginia tractor option of $211,557, and then there's 4 different extended warranty options that we want, and they total $6,430, making the bid, or the amount we're asking for, $217,987. Now, the reason that we chose to not go with the low bid, we have several reasons for that, and Jason has researched this extensively, and I'll let him speak to the reasons why we chose that.
One of my biggest reasons was, one, Danny said that, one that was a little bit cheaper was down in Mississippi. I called and talked with them, and while they can, service the cab and the frame part of it here locally, Canova is the closest place we could get that done. If anything would go wrong with the compactor part, we have to send it all the way down to Virginia Beach to have it serviced. So that's, if there's any recalls, anything goes bad on it through that extended warranty time frame, we'd have to take it all the way there. And a truck that large, if something would happen that would have to be towed, would be considerably more than the difference in the price alone for that. The West Virginia tractor, the furthest we'd have to take the truck is Charleston, West Virginia. In addition to that, the one that was a lower bid is actually a 2027 cab, 2027. This year, EPA's made it to where, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the DEF system on diesel vehicles. It's a filtration system. They're making, in 2027 on, they're gonna have a pre-SRC system that's gonna have to go in there, and it's gonna filter it out before it even gets to the filter. Anytime you're dealing with first generation of anything, especially motors, there's a lot of recalls, there's a lot of problems with the system, and they're anticipating a ton of problems with this new system. They're making them filter out an additional 80 to 90% of the carbon coming through. Anytime you put a big reduction like that, you're gonna have a lot of problems with the emissions. They're also looking at electrical failures too, and this is gonna be something that eventually we're gonna have to adopt. We're just lucky that some of the local providers bought a lot of the 2026 vehicles in anticipation for this happening, to where they can continue selling those vehicles that they know people are gonna want. And then the one that's $16,000 more, that's another reason why we decided to go with them, because they were the ones who are providing the 2026 cab. And they made it very easy for us. There's a lot of different reasons. Just to hit on a few more, one is the one for $16,000 more, has a heavy duty transmission on it. That's hauling around 8 to 10 tons of garbage a day. With a beefier transmission, you're gonna have a lot less problems with it. The compactor itself is made with a heavier gauge steel, so durability factors as far as the compactor goes. Those are the main reasons. I don't want to bore you with anything else. If you have any questions, I'd be more than willing to answer this for you.
The one that we're getting rid of, will we still be able to use it?
So what my plan for that is, we do need 2 on occasion, to where we have to run them in a day. Some of the heavier days, we can only hold so much in a truck. I inherited a auction vehicle. It was a dump truck whenever I first took over, that they had decided to auction before I was placed in this department. And, I plan on taking the body, cause that's over 10 years old, that's typically when you start seeing a lot of issues go wrong with the compactors. Taking that body off and putting a dump body on it, and that will help replace that truck, so that's actually gonna save us from having to buy another dump truck.
Okay.
Any other questions? The ask is to award the bid in the amount of $217,987.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second in there somewhere. If there's no other questions or comments, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I got one question while we're on the subject,
Yeah,
Mayor.
sure.
Is in the warranty, is there any provision that covers like a rental or something? Say that equipment goes down and needs service for a month at a time. What is our backup plan? What is our route?
We have a
for service?
secondary truck, so on days that, say that would happen, our trash truck driver would have to, if we filled up the truck and we're down to one truck, we've had this happen in the past, he'll have to go to the dump, which is close to 45 minutes drive away, come back and then they finish the route on that truck, and then it gets taken down the next day to be offloaded.
Alright, make it work.
Make it work, yes.
We are at the end of our agenda, so I'll entertain comments from council members. Donnie, we'll start on your end tonight.
I'm just astounded. It's been a great meeting. Thank you guys thank everybody for showing up. Thank you, all the guys for everything that's done. Mark, thanks for the hard work for the charter and everything like that. You know, Adam, what's your name, Adam? No, I'm sorry.
No.
You mentioned about the term limits and everything like that. You know, it's a tough decision. We haven't even had term limits in for a full term. We've only had them in for like maybe 5 years. We went 20 years, 20-some years before that, didn't even have term limits. So, but because of the state law and everything like that, and Mark's clarified all that for us, and it's just the only really way that we can go. We can't. But anyway, you can look into that later and everything like that. Judge, welcome. Thank you for choosing Barboursville, and you come to the right place, right? Yeah. And Randall, thank you for the information, everything on the 100-year. I think you and I had spoke of that before. I didn't know that we had a 100-year anniversary coming up like that. That's awesome, and I certainly would like to take part and be in part as much as I can, and it's going to be an exciting year. Barboursville Little League has a state championship this year, first time that they've hosted that since 1995, and we're hosting an all state champions boys reunion on that, and you know, probably I don't even really know, but I know there's 20, 23, 24 state championship teams that have been involved with that, and that's just the boys' side. If you went on the girls' side, you'd have to add another 0 or something to it. They have tons of state champions in Barboursville, almost. But I don't have much else. But it's just an honor and a thrill to be part of the council and be part of our city, and I'm so proud to be part of everything that's going on around us, and the best is yet to come. So thank you all for being here.
Oh, there's always something going on around here, it seems like, so we've always got opportunity going on. Randall, thanks for taking that on. Donnie's taking on the All-Star thing. Noah, thank you for the comments, appreciate the insight there and your thoughts there on that subject. But appreciate everybody coming out. Welcome, Judge, to the village.
Thank you.
Can't talk you into moving to town, can we? But no, appreciate everybody here at the table that brings all the work to us and makes our job easier. Come prepared, and even when it is spending some money, that's all right. That's what we're here.
Don't ever get tired of seeing me.
I told you, embrace the dogs and you'll get more, right? If you just stay on the dog side, everybody's a sucker for the animal side, but no. Thanks for everybody being here. Appreciate y'all.
Chief, I have a family. They're supposed to be here tonight. They're supposed to email me. They was gonna bring to read to council. They couldn't be here because of vacation Bible school. So I said, well.
Jesus won.
Yeah. And so I said, well, tell me what's going on a little bit, and I'll speak to the council or the chief about this. They live at 67-1 Water Street. Their name is Ryan Hightower. He has 3 children and he's complaining, okay, well, I told him I'd bring it up because he's speeding, he's in the, said something about 4-wheelers or whatever. I said, well, if you can't be there, I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see.
We are actually doing, speed blitzes across the village this month. We did one on Payton Street today, and I think we stopped about 12 cars, right, Bobby? And so we're gonna start cracking down on some of these residential streets, one by one. That's about all we can do. My next step is to start some neighborhood watches.
Yes.
In these neighborhoods that are complaining about their speeders, and let them get the speeders on camera somehow and identify them, and we'll look them up and go have a talk with them. Because we can't be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but the neighbors are there, so. Neighborhood watches are very, very successful.
Thank you very much for that, because they kind of wore me out a little bit, and I said, you know, and I didn't get a chance to see what they wrote, so I didn't get a chance to pull off my email.
I'll talk to Mr. Hightower.
Okay, thank you. All right, Judge, welcome. Andy, good to have you today. It's good to see you today. But Noah, thank you for your input there. But welcome everybody. I'm glad everybody came and showed up, but it's always good to be here.
It is. Randall, I just love your passion for this place. Thank you very much for being one of our biggest cheerleaders. The police department, us keeping you up to date is costly, but it's why everybody wants to live here too, so. You know, your department, Danny's department, you know, it seems like the last couple of months that we have been able to update some things to keep us the coolest place around. And I think, you know, unless you live here, you don't realize how fortunate we are. I had a family member that said they just didn't get what the village was all about. Well, then they moved to the village. And then they said about day 3, they was like, oh, I get it. So, you know, I'm very proud to live here, to be a part of it, and, you know, proud of not just the village, but just Barboursville in general. And thank you all for all that you do to make us the most desired place. Just, you know, Donnie, I think you've just a little unsung hero of what you do for sports around here, and I really do appreciate it. You've been doing this, you're just a year older than I am, so you've been doing this quite a while.
Thank you.
But you know, you're always in the mix of all of it, and keeping all the ball fields full of activities, which benefits us as a city. Abe, glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, we keep up that speed and we'll get you some work. Add Main Street to your list of, you know, you put a policeman on Main Street, other than the policemen that are on Main Street to monitor, you'll get you some tickets there. And I think that's about all I have to say.
Well, thank you all for coming. Welcome to our little village. We really appreciate you coming. Thank you, Randall. Thank you, Brian, for putting all of this together and bringing it to us. Thank you, Jason. It's a lot of work for your all's department, but it's paying off, so thank you all. Thank you all for coming tonight. Appreciate it.
I forgot to thank John. Here
Oh,
we
yeah.
are,
Good,
just
John.
dishing out money, and thank you for putting it in the right columns and telling us when we can and when we can't. Because, you know, every week we're getting spreadsheets of your numbers, and I'm astounded that we're always able to do it. And Mark, you're not too shabby.
Thank you all for being here. Welcome, new judge. I'm looking forward to working with you. And your children are very well behaved. This one's falling asleep in the category. And I'm like, oh, he needs to go home. I'm with you, buddy. But welcome. You all have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
Mark, thank you for your hard work. The ordinance is very detailed, and I appreciate all of your hard work and time. And thank you for always being available to not only me, but everybody. I really appreciate you. So, police department, thank you for everything you do for us, and always being available if we need whatever. Brian, thanks for getting everything together to present in our special meeting last week and tonight as well. I appreciate your hard work, and I think that's all I have. Jason, thanks for coming tonight and presenting what you've done. Above my head, but thank you. So, I think that's it. So thanks for being here tonight, and
I'll just say thanks to the council for continuing to invest in our employees and making their jobs easier. They do a lot of hard work to compile the information that is brought to you every 2 weeks, and they also do a good job on a daily basis. So I just want to say thanks for continuing to invest in our people and our residents. With that being said, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thanks everyone for coming.